Absolutely.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from down under Brisbane, Australia. No, Stanthorpe, Queensland, I should say. A great afternoon to each one of you from wherever in the globe you're listening to us. I know this is being reached out to different countries across the globe. Thank you, audience, for coming on board. And today we have a very good speaker. I'm going to leave that to the end to introduce her in a few minutes. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't to close on questions, do not hesitate to send an email to support@davidnair.net. support@davidnair.net. And we will respond to all questions that come through. Why I say that is I've got a special lady who I want to use the maximum hour to share with you some of the concerns that a lot of people are facing today's pandemic. One of the key things I also would like to share with you is who is this guy called David Nair. He's a peak performance strategist, keynote speaker, author of a book called IXL Wired for Success. My main purpose, ladies and gentlemen, is to ensure that we are here to create a mindset shift, a heart set shift, and a soul set shift in 1 million people. And we are on a journey to do that. Have been doing that for over 22 years. And we are in the process today of ensuring that we can touch another aspect of a person's life. And this is the mind, body, and soul. Now, we carry these weekly broadcasts mainly to ensure we can bring you some of the best practices across the globe. And today we are going to touch on small shifts that can generate large gains in an individual by just spending a few minutes a day doing certain best practices. And also another reason why I bring this show to you is mainly to ensure you've got someone and some person to role model. We have brought people and speakers from Canada, Michigan, USA, South Africa, UAE, Malaysia, Hong Kong. Now, these are great speakers who have had years of experience, and today I'm bringing another one such speaker all the way from UAE. The name of the lady is Smitha Prabhakar. Who is she as a person? She's an excellent performer with credentials that are a mile long. I can only, in a snapshot, provide you a quick snapshot of what she is doing currently. By the way, in the last 12 months, as an example, Smitha has been working with individuals, 70,000 of them, 12 months, working through, helping, counseling, and bringing them out of the challenges that she's been working through with. One of the areas that she's also been focusing her work on is the royal family and also some key employees in the government in that region. Smitha also works in a wellness institution that is a 5-star resort, and she has been running these sessions for a number of years. Her program that I've watched and observed over the number of years has been fantastic, and bringing her in to share some of the key aspects that she can work with individuals, giving you small tidbits so you can practice that in the course of your challenge that you're going to go through. Ladies and gentlemen, without much delay, let me introduce you to Smitha Prabhakar. Welcome aboard, madam. How are you?
I'm fantastic, David. It's great to connect with you again and just be on your show. And you're doing an amazing job and a fabulous job by touching many, many people and just reaching up to millions. And that's a noble gesture. And I'm really honored and privileged to be here with you.
It's been great privilege working with you. I've known you for about 3 years, and over the time I've seen you also, number of calls that you've made and grown and actually got into this coaching and counseling fraternity. Fantastic job, madam, lady. I'd like to sort of start off with a little bit of your story. Why don't you share parts of what you have done to get to where you are, working on yourself? That's the key element I want to know.
I think my journey, it's been working on myself for the last 2 decades. And I was born into a family which was really quite spiritually oriented, and a family which had a lot of self-discipline. And I just followed that pedigree right from my grandfather on. I mean, he's been working on a lot of holistic lifestyle principle, and I used to just see him doing his walks and doing his oil massages and all of that stuff. And I used to wonder, like, oh my God, that's my grandfather, and he lived a long way. And all of these were something which I grew up, watching and noticing all the things. And my dad was into business, always an entrepreneur was there inside me. At the same time, I have this spiritual and I was pushed into something which was very metaphysical, and I was quite curious about how the whole world works, and that curiosity of how this whole quantum stuff works. I mean, that was there right from when I was small, and this side of me as an entrepreneur combined together, and I just had a nice balance. And I was pursuing my spiritual growth and my holistic lifestyle. At the same time, I was in this mad world of the corporate world, where I didn't know initially how to manage it. And I was really, when I was in the schools, I was a topper and into all kinds of, God gave me opportunities, and I had a great childhood. And my parents pushed me into things, and you need to be the number one. You need to do this. You have to be the best of everything, right? So I was a topper. I was into music. I was singing. I was all over the place. And that's when it just dawned into me and to my parents that then I went into a deep depression. That's when they realized, we are pushing our child to the limit, and I want to be perfect all the time. And when I realized that perfection is not everything, and it's okay to fail, that was my first lesson. And then I grew out of it, and that's when I realized I need to help people who are having a lot of challenges coping with the pressures of the world, right from our parents to the society, wants us to be a certain way, right? And you just fall into that, and then you pressure yourself so much that you could break, right? That's why we need to live with the modern world, how the information overload is happening, how to manage that, right? And constant mind chatter, the narratives which goes in our mind, can cause us to really break down. So before that happens, we need to breathe, know what's your purpose, and live with a lifestyle which is right for you. And every individual is different, right? So that's what I want to tell people, right? You can balance everything. So with that lesson, I went to this corporate world. At the same time, I had a balance where I could actually pursue my spiritual goals as well. And then that has helped me to become whatever I did till date. Yeah.
Great. Now, when I met you 3 years ago, you were in the industry, but I think there's, I've watched you, and the growth that has transpired over the last 3 years is phenomenal. Now, I don't know what you did. Probably a lot of it has been self-work again, which most of us do. But I want to touch on a subject that is so close to a lot of people, and they're feeling the pain here today and in the last few months. The right to immunity. I know I'm jumping straight into it because we've got short time. The right to immunity. Now, by doing what we are doing, why can't we build an immunity? What is some of the things we have to work towards in ensuring our immunity is maxed up?
It's a lot of factors which is connected to the immunity. And a lot of things is so simple, unbelievably simple, but the world makes it very complicated. You need to have this, you need to have this, you need to have this concoction, you need to do all of these stuff. There are things which could work, but how do you fit it to your lifestyle? And if it makes it like right from waking up in the morning, wake up before sunrise so that you have the benefit of the sun. As simple as that. But now the modern science is showing us that, vitamin D is important. You need to complement that with vitamin A. There are a lot of things which is coming up. But you can actually build your immunity right at your home just by focusing on your breath, bringing in awareness for your breath, breathe, connect with the nature, connect with the environment. Okay, social connectivity is very, very important. Hydration is very, very, very important. And how to do it, and what's the frequency. And this is something which you need to work around with your lifestyle and work it around with your lifestyle. And everything is within you. Everything is accessible with you. You do not have to go to having huge multivitamin supplements and, oh, that's going to be doing this is going to be doing this, and you will just have an expensive urine. Other than that, it's not going to do something much more where you can do simple things in your house.
Right.
And
There's a
build up
couple,
the immunity.
sorry. Yeah, there's a couple of things you just touched on. Get up before sunrise. What's the significance of that? I mean, I'm just picking up key elements here. What's the significance of getting up before sunrise?
It's important for you to connect to the circadian rhythms, the way the whole universe works, right? So there's a particular time defined for you to sleep, 9, 10, 11 maximum. And what I would say to people is that you need not keep the alarm for you to wake up. You need to keep an alarm for you to sleep. What time to sleep? And we've got it all wrong. Actually, if you've actually got your time frame for you sleeping correctly sorted, you will wake up at the right time because your body is rested. It gets enough time to rejuvenate, because that's the only time when your body gets to rejuvenate. When you go into the deep sleep state, when you're totally relaxed, is when your body recovers, repairs. And normally people do not give that time. They're constantly, the mind is not shutting down. They don't get the right sleep at the right time. So what happens is that if you're sleeping late, again, you're on your smartphone, your blue lights are on, right? And that's it's quite detrimental for your sleep cycle. When you have your blue lights on, your with your Wi-Fi radiation, you're constantly looking at the phone. Your brain is like wired into either your Netflix or your social media. Your mind doesn't stop. It takes at least 2 hours for you to really get down to the rested state where you're away. I mean, I would also tell I do a masterclass on sleep as well, where what you could do to get yourself to that state. For that, there are a few tips what you can do so that you get the rested sleep, and then you wake up in the morning right in the time so you get the right sunlight. Vitamin D has to be synthesized by sunlight, but having natural sunlight. You can have supplements, but nothing better than having the right sunlight. And when you need to have the sunlight and how much time you need to have it. It's all, we need to do another episode to just go into details of that. But I'm just touching the few points so that people can benefit from it and make sure, because there's a lot of science behind it. That what our grandfathers, age-old traditions have told us. It's so very, very crucial and vital that you follow that. I'm just giving you the key points so that we can elaborate later.
Right. One of the things I also do quite a lot and practice this, and actually run that in my programs, is our body goes through a cycle of 24 hours a day. There are 8 threes of 24. There's 3 cycles of intake, digestion, or working through your system, and then the output of detoxing your body. Now, that process, actually, most people don't understand that. Can you elaborate on your lifestyle of detoxing? That's vital, because unless you understand how to detox yourself, you're going to be filled up with this toxic that doesn't matter how much you try to wash yourself with makeup or wash yourself with soap and water. It's not going to wash it out. You need to detox your cells. How do you do that?
So rightfully said, the detoxing starts, the first thing what I would say is breathing. Everything, whatever is like the most crucial thing in audios is what I'm going to explain to you. People always talk about, okay, build up immunity, you eat this, you eat that, you have these supplements, but I would take that as the last. The first thing, what we need to do, a lifestyle reset or detox, right? By breathing out whatever you don't need, right? All the toxins, all the negative thoughts, I would say. But at the first thing is that get the right air into you. Breathe. There are different ways of breathing it by using pranayama or different kinds of breath work. That's the first thing what you need to do. Okay, breathe correctly, and there are different protocols of breathing to build an immunity and to get the right oxygen intake. And mostly it'd be better to breathe in the nature. Okay, so first is like waking up at the right time, right? Because, when our melatonin production start reducing, and then you need to wake up in the right time. So, whole structure of the body. I will just give you a small little point of how it works. Basically,
Right.
at midnight, you get the deeper sleep, you're in a deep delta, and then you get to about like 9, 10 o'clock. 4:30, you have the lowest body temperature. Then your
Right.
blood pressure rises up at 6:45. Melatonin secretion stops at 7:30. Then all your nature's call and the bowel movement starts around 8 o'clock. It all depends on the time when you wake up, but your body has got its own rhythm as well. So it's very crucial what time you wake up. For that, the timing to sleep is very, very important. So you need to set your time to sleep 2 hours before. You need to start creating a ritual towards your sleep. So that's how
Right.
you start resetting your body to get to wake up, then breathe fresh air, exercise, and goes further. I mean, you've spoken about waking up. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I profess and I promote a lot in my groups is that I call it minimum of 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour at night, primarily because a lot of people are saying they don't have time. But the key element that I find out from today is you need to set an alarm clock to go to sleep. Now, what's the ideal time you would recommend based on your experience would be for a person to look at going to sleep? Because I'll tell you another thing, a lot of the people that are in the call center that's working out there, they are working, some of them 24/7 in a rotation, and they don't realize the impact to the pituitary glands of what they do when they do not have that sleep. Now, my point is, if you're going to put an alarm clock at 10, 11, 12, whatever time you're setting it, for you to go through the alpha, beta, theta, delta state of sleep, and then coming out of that, when do you put your time to get up?
Ideally, I would recommend for people to start shutting down from 7 p.m. onwards. So from 7 p.m. onwards, you start your rituals. Okay, 7 o'clock, your dinner should be done before 7, right? And you
Right.
give 2 hours at least a gap before you go to sleep. So your body is like, okay, the metabolism is happening, the body is kind of resting, it doesn't have to overwork, right? And this is also greatly important for your immune system as well, because the two major systems in our body is the digestive system and the immune system, right? So
Right.
the immune system will start, coming out as your digestive system starts reducing.
Going down.
It starts going down. So when it's relaxing. So basically,
Yeah.
from 7 p.m. onwards, you need to just get to a sleeping routine. Make sure that your rooms are like really dark and nice. Shut off all your Wi-Fi and your phones, and just start coming to a ritual. Have a nice warm shower. Some people, there are certain rituals where you can have a cold shower as well, but have a start with a warm shower, and then get to a sleep routine. And do not watch television, or don't look at the phone, at least an hour to 2 hours before you sleep, because you're constantly giving fuel to your mind to just not stop working, right? You're completely on a overdrive, your social media and all of that. And before you realize, an hour has passed and 2 hours have passed, especially with social media. So at 9 o'clock, your melatonin production starts reducing. It starts increasing from 9 onwards. So that's the time for you to start getting to sleep. 9,
Right.
10. I know it's quite early in terms of, I'm an early riser, like wake up at like 4 o'clock. For me, 9, 10, 11 would be the ideal time for me to get to sleep. At least I get to 6 to 7 hours of sleep. Why I say 6 to hours, 7 hours for me, because I complement my deep night sleep with good meditation practice, at least during the midway. So
Right.
I'm able to balance it some way, but ideally 7 to 8 hours is important for a person, especially during this time. Do not compromise on sleep. That's very, very
Right.
important for your immunity.
Right. We're talking about the gadgets, and I've been pushing this fact. I don't know. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Never, 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 never have a gadget in your bedroom. Have it in other rooms charging. Even if it means you got an emergency call, keep it in another room with a phone on, rather than having it in your own bedroom. What's your take on that?
You're absolutely right, David. Spot on. Even the small little lights, right? Any light filtering even through your curtains, if there's lights outside, that's going to still hamper because melatonin will start. When the whole thing is about darkness, right? The whole nature is made it like the moment the night starts coming in, the melatonin starts secretions starts, right? The moment you see the light, it is still telling you that it's kind of a day, right? So
Right.
there are a lot of gadgets which is there to even just shut down. I wear a glass which shut down all the blue lights, right? So I wear a glass throughout at least 2 hours before I go to sleep, right? So the moment I come to the house, because I get to home very late, I start wearing the glasses. It shut down all the blue lights. Have yellow bulbs or which gets
Yes.
you to a nice, good sleep routine. Have your room pitch dark when you go to sleep, right? Just possibly a smaller yellow light would be okay. But other than that, um, all the other gadgets should be off so that you
Right.
get, because it takes at least a couple of hours for you to get into a deep REM sleep. So you need to give your body that time to sleep.
Okay. So that's
Can
one of
I?
the things
I
I
forgot. Oh, I forgot
please.
to just add in one thing. Another simple note. I mean, these are all very, very simple things what we can do,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
It's not very
Yeah.
expensive. It's just making a slight change in your lifestyle. Keep a notepad next to your bed,
Yes.
right? So basically, what you do is, in case some great idea comes, you're not going to, oh my God, I'm going to forget it. I don't want to get up and just write down. Keep a pen and a notepad right there. Also, it's a good tip for you to write down your dreams while you're sleeping. There's that could be a message from your subconscious, right? So
Very
it's
much
good to
so.
write down your dreams, your great ideas. Okay, I've got everything. You don't have to get up. You're not disturbing your process. Okay,
Yes.
that means you've released it. You've let it go. You don't have to think about it again during the night. Oh my gosh, I should remember this thing. This is an exciting dream. All of that stuff.
That's interesting you say that because a lot of what you're saying is congruent to my process of explaining to my teams about me time. I call this whole process me time because that's the time that you're going to connect with yourself. Now, one of the other things that I want to sort of address while we talk on this is we've not touched on the third element, which I'm very conscious of, the integration of your mind, body, and soul. The MDS, I call it MBS. And now most people don't realize the importance of having that sync there. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Absolutely. Whenever I work with my clients, it's always a 360-degree integrated approach. If they come for a weight loss program, they need to go through a meditation or a mindfulness practice. First of all, to understand themselves, where they are and why they are there, right? Understand the emotions, right? If they're eating, is it because emotional eating? Am I going through certain kind of trauma or pain, which I need to release and let go first, right? Only then you need to look at food. I mean, till now, I've never spoken about food because these are all the things, the protocols, what we need to first take care of. Even if you want to have a change in lifestyle or weight loss, getting rid of your obesity, or if you want to, have in the peak mental state, because 90% of the diseases in our lives are lifestyle diseases
Right.
caused by stress and many other reasons, environment reasons and all of that stuff. But the 90% is by stress. So ideally, one should have a mindfulness practice which is integrated into their life for a healthy, highly immune life system. Looking at someone else, he's got muscles, he looks fit, he looks lean, he works out on the treadmill every day, but is he healthy inside?
Mm.
That's the question. Is he
Yeah.
truly healthy from within, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and then come physically?
You see, most people miss this point. I mean, it's great as I keep coming back and saying, great to be looking, feeling good. That's important, but not vital. Unless it's right inside, everything else goes for a toss. And so it doesn't matter how much of makeup, how much of sprays you put on yourself, unless you have that right inside, The fruit, if it's spoiled inside, you cannot in any way do anything with it. If something is damaged outside, at least you can peel it and eat the rest of it. And that's the key element that we need to emphasize a lot. And when I do these sessions, I also go into the session of getting digital detox, which we spoke about slightly, but more digital silence.
Absolutely.
And just to share with you, coming to a rehab session myself, and I'm at the farm, and I was up at 3:45 this morning, and just to get outside, and there'll be a video coming up this week on that, just to get outside and sit by the veranda deck and listen to the wind blowing on the leaves and the birds chirping. That's all it took for me to just get my click back on. Would you like to share your part of digital silence, please?
See, there's so much noise outside, and there's far more noise inside as well, right?
Yes.
And there's so much of narratives going inside. There are movies going inside. There's stories going inside. If that person looked at me and he just turned his face, we create a story around it. Maybe he was on his own journey, right?
Yeah.
So we create a whole story around it, right? Oh, he's ignoring me. So the next time I see him, I should not look at him or say hello to him. So there's so many things happening in our mind every millisecond, right? And constantly we are driven by our subconscious, right? 95% of what we are doing is because something tells in our mind, there's so much of stories, narratives, do this, do that. Consciously, we are doing very less, but everything is driven by subconscious, 90%. So how do you shut down what is not needed, right? That is the crucial part of it. The stories, the noise, outside is there for sure. We do not have much control over the outside noise, but what we can do is take charge and take control of your inner voice, the noises, right? And hear to the true voice, what is integral to you, what tells you. And that's how, you connect with your heart and your mind. Be aware of your body. What is that it needs now? Am I listening to my body? Am I listening to my heart? What does it deserve now, right? Just by hearing that, your heartbeat, your breath, connecting to your inner self. And that can be achieved through different practices, Tai Chi, meditation, different mindfulness practice, which is like huge now. People are wanting to go to all the mindfulness apps, yoga apps, and just try. But again, there's so much of confusion there.
Exactly.
Right? And there's so much. Where do we do? What do we do? Is this app is good for me? That app is just trust me. There are many meditation practices. You can start with just focusing on your breath, texture of your breath, the quality of your breath. How does it move in and out? Even just by doing that, you're going to get into a meditative space. Even if you're doing your work with mindful awareness, you're still in meditation. You're listening to music with total awareness, that's still meditation. So people are so much confused about what is meditation? Do I have to do this? Do I have to say this mantra? Do I have to chant this? You can start from basics. That itself will do a lot good than going after there's tons of apps outside. Learn. There are many ways of meditating. You can meditate while you're walking, being aware of your footsteps. So we will definitely, for about 10 minutes, we'll just go through a process of meditation.
That'll be really
so
good.
that you can take away an experience.
Yeah.
How do you feel even with such a short time? And that's within you. You have the power within you, and tap into that potential and that power, and you'll do wonders.
So on that same subject, before we get into the meditation and leave this aspect, I'd like to touch on SOS. Now, the element of SOS is so vital, and many do not, understand the principle and its implications to the body. Would you like to elaborate on that, please?
Yes. What I mentioned about SOS, this is again connecting to the food and the nutrition.
Yes.
Especially during this time, during this challenging time. Ideally, the 3 key things what we need to avoid, right? That's like an SOS call: sugar, oil, salt. Sugar, oil, salt. The 3 killers which can actually damage your immunity, your immune system to a level that you cannot imagine. And especially all this, I would also suggest a diary. Coke, all the free fizzy drinks, which has got high content of sugar, please do
Yeah.
avoid during this time, because you can compromise your immunity to a level which will be very difficult for you to revive if you've been having it consistently. If you've been occasionally having it, please put a full stop to it. There are alternatives like honey, but still it is sugar. But then, unless it's like really, really important, even artificial sweetness, I would say that it's a
Out.
no, no. Diet Coke is a no, no. I'm not
And then
talking about brands, but I'm just telling all these fizzy drinks which has got extra amounts of sugar in that. Please make
yes.
sure that you completely put that into blacklist.
Right, right. When you say it impacts immunity, and we spoke about breathing to enhance immunity, what is this thing, immunity? What is it? And how can a person build their immunity by, just working on it? Or how can I store it like a bank account? What do I do?
Okay, great question. Immunity is like, see, now during the situation, how much ever fit you are, if you do not follow the protocols, you're still prone to the any diseases what may come. If you do not wear the masks, if you do not wash your hands continuously, right, regularly at regular intervals, right, you're still prone to how much ever you've seen that even not only the elderly whose systems are compromised, right, who's having some preconditions, they are more vulnerable. That's what the numbers were showing. But
Right.
nowadays, it is even showing that even young people are prone to it. They're still,
Yes.
compromising to it. How does that work, right? So everybody needs to take care of the precautions. That's very, very important. Wear your mask. Make sure that you're protected from the external sources, right? Just like a house, you have a house, right? You have the dogs which are there to protect you. You have got the gates which are there. It's like that. You just take that analogy, like the metaphor.
Yeah.
All of these things are there to protect you, right? But just imagine one thief comes into you by some chance, right? We don't know where we are touching, whether we are touching there and then touching your mask and your face. If something comes into you, inside you, now what? The only thing what you can prevent is your innate immune system.
Right.
And
And
for that, you need to reset your lifestyle into something which is more natural, congruent to your lifestyle, and aligned with whatever protocols what you need to follow in terms of the right breathing techniques, the right nutrition, the right hydration, exercise, movement, and beyond everything else, I would say connectivity. Reach out to help when you need. Reach out to the coaches like yourself when you're going through trauma, you're going through some emotional stuff. You need someone to just say that I want to cry, come and cry on your shoulders because I'm feeling this and I don't want that to compromise my immunity because I have not released it. I'm going to hold on that pain. And a couple of months, if you do not release that pain in some way, that becomes a disease. I mean, you have a
yes.
disease, you're compromised, your immunity is already compromised, right? So you're more vulnerable towards all the external viruses what may come in. So find a
Right.
support system which can help you do certain reset lifestyle solutions which can also help you, which is
Yeah.
very important, and it's now or never, right?
Yes.
And
Exactly.
it is, I have to
Exactly.
tell that this is very, very important. It's not to scare anyone, but we do not know what happens the next day. What is in store for us for the next day? How much ever we protect ourselves, there are many healthy people who have still got, compromised in terms of immunity, in terms of contracting, external diseases,
Right.
viruses. So the only thing is um, immunity is survival now. So please take care, create a lifestyle which is simple, and it's just whatever I've told you. I think it's not something not doable, right? All of these things are very, very doable, and you can incorporate that. But have a
Yeah.
system, have the right guidance, have a right coach with you to sit through you and tell you why you're doing what you're doing. A lot of people do not even understand what is meditation. Am I wasting my time sitting
Exactly.
there and just doing nothing because I could do so much more? But do you know that the most busiest people are the biggest meditators in the world?
Exactly. I just about to say that, and you took the words off my mouth. You see, it's unfortunate. People are in a lot of people that have come through to me, and in fact, some of them where they call for in desperation, and they say, David, what is it I can do? And what we're sharing are just basic fundamentals. There's nothing Einstein about it. It's so simple, but unfortunately, people doubt the simplest things. And that's why I have a cliche that I call out a lot. Small shifts generate big gains. And most people don't realize the impact of that. And what you're sharing is what a lot of us have, coaches have actually used for our own benefit. But some of the others are still doubting. And they will keep doubting and go through hurdle after hurdle after hurdle of challenges. Now, you emphasized one key element through this discussion for the last 30 minutes, and that's breathing. Before I get into meditation later, I'd like for you to just give a mechanical process of how to effectively breathe. Then we can talk about it in the meditation side.
Fantastic. How to effectively breathe. It's one of the most fundamental questions, right? We breathe all the time, right?
Yes.
And without being aware, we're still breathing, right? But if you observe your breath, when we have different emotions, our breath behaves differently.
Yeah.
Right? If you have anger, your breathing is fast, right? When you're in danger, your breathing is fast. When you're in love, what happens to your breathing? You're breathing so slowly and relaxed, right? Just imagine a cobra standing in front of you. You would be shocked. You stop your breathing, and you would just not breathe at all, right? Because you just worried that if the cobra would hear you breathing, it would move. So we are in the fight or flight mode. When you are in the fight or flight mode, the logic doesn't work, right? When the logic doesn't work, we make wrong decisions. That's exactly what happens during anger.
Yes.
Yeah, when you're frustrated, right? When you're in danger, right? And the only way to consciously come out of it is just to breathe. Whatever the situation is, breathe. Take a deep breath. If you can just take an exercise of it, take a deep breath just for a moment. All of you who is watching, just sit down. Just imagine yourself when you're just so angry or in a danger. Something happens to you. You're in that state, right? Just imagine yourself in some situation of danger and just imagine how you're breathing. And now let's release that emotion. And now just think of some amazing event where you're meeting your loved one or your child, having the child in your arms and just holding the child and just giving it a nice, beautiful hug and just breathing in. How would you breathe? Taking in a deep breath and sharing all that love to that little one. You even think about it, your breathing has gone deep, right? You've forgotten about that danger and you've consciously brought in your biorhythms to work in a different way, right? So you're having love, compassion, affection, empathy, all of this is coming. But at that time when you had the danger, adrenaline, cortisol, and all those chemicals rushed into your body because your body thought that there's a danger, okay? And before the danger happened, already your body is produced those chemicals in your body. So you've already done the danger. You've already done the damage to your body by, looking at it and then already creating that in your body. So it's the same thing what happens when you're compromising your immunity. Your immune system, if there's some danger, it sees the whole system. It's a small danger. It doesn't look at that way. The danger is danger for the immune system, right? It's small or big. It is danger. So you need to start responding to situations than reacting to a dangerous situation. So you see the danger far away. Okay, I can see the danger happening there, but let me just take a deep breath, look at it. What is it? So that you can relatively do the right actions at the right time. And this can be developed by certain mindfulness and meditation practices. Right? Basically, these practices can actually increase your CD4 cells in your body. Also the telomeres, right? When you meditate, you can go younger, right? These are basic fundamental practices, because you're not creating those hormones that will cause you aging.
Exactly.
Most of the meditations, at least they look 10 to 12 years younger, because they've incorporated lifestyle, incorporate discipline in their lifestyle, which is the most crucial thing. How do I incorporate all of that in? So that's why you need a structure, a discipline, and certain things which are a non-negotiable, especially during these times.
Yep. Fabulous, fabulous. That's why, a lot of people say, David, how old are you? And I say, I'm 92. And they can't believe it. It's all the meditation that's doing this. May God. Thank you. Hey, I want to touch on a subject called nutrition in the midst of all of this. I know, because we speak about the body, mind, and soul. Now, the body aspect, what should we put in there for it to be effective operating system?
Okay. Nutrition again comes with hydration as well. But I would say
Yes,
that
combine the two. You can combine the two.
Yeah, even 8 glasses of water is sufficient. Do not overhydrate your body. Your body will tell you when need, but minimum of 8 glasses of hydration is required. Okay. And for me, there are certain protocols with my weight loss boot camps and mindfulness boot camps, what I run. There are certain protocols when you need to give your body a resting time. So even with the drinking of water, I do not recommend them to drink water very late at night, right? So you finish your drinking until late in the morning. I do not advise them to even eat anything, right? Or drink anything. So leave your body to rest. Give a rest to the digestive system, especially now system, so that the immunity can start taking up and start repair the cells and the body, all the fabulous system what we have. It's a miraculous system, and we are so blessed to have a body which is functioning fully, and being grateful for what you have, even gratitude for that matter, bringing in have a gratitude journal, because that shifts a lot of things in our body. A gratitude changes a lot of your the chemicals, your biorhythms, the system of your body can change by just practicing a simple gratitude ritual in the morning. So that's again, we can get into that. It takes a couple of hours to even just get into that space, right? You can do a heart-brain coherence, because if you need only one organ which can supersede the brain's function is your heart. Okay, gut is called your second brain, but the heart can give certain kind of frequencies to your brain to shift the way it functions as well. So heart, take care of your heart, take care of your gut. That's going to take care of your brain. And if your brain is taken care of, your whole system is going to function effectively. So all of them are different subjects on its own, but I'm just touching few points so that we know what needs to be taken care of.
It's just creating the awareness so people understand what's out there that they need to follow through. While we touch on nutrition and hydration, now let's look at the aspect of how movement fits in there. And you would remember, my catch cry is, what happens to your body when music plays? Okay, now can you bring this in here, please, and share how does movement impact and what should we do?
Okay, great. I think I missed one more point to mention about the nutrition. For the people, we need to increase the amount of natural veggies and the fruits we incorporate, rather than processed food, which has flour, sugar, oil, salt for sure, and avoid deep fried stuff, because that's it actually converts the oil into another poisonous substance. So basically, what we need to do is take care of a nutrition in a way that give your body a lot of rest, and in your eating window have nourishing vegetables, a lot of leafy green veggies, fruits, and I would avoid a lot of gluten. But if you're having rice, you can have like whole rice, wild rice, all those kind of, rather than the rice which is purified, the white rice. So just have more whole food, and that's what you need to work on, and give your body a lot of rest. I do a lot of fasting. Today, in one of my fasting days as well. So I do go for 10 days. I mean, please do not, unless you're supervised, do not go for any kind of water fast. But I'm saying that this is what I do to just give my body a rest. And also, intermittent fasting is very, very good. Limits the amount of time when you're having your food, right? I would suggest that don't snack in and out, and just, give too much of work for your digestive system, because we want to take care of the immunity.
Right.
Okay. So this is what I wanted to cover in terms of the nutrition.
Okay. Well, you just touched on this aspect of fasting. I'd like to elaborate further on that. Water fasting and intermittent fasting. Could you just elaborate a little bit on that aspect so the audience understands what are the differences, number one? Number two, can they get into it?
Okay. Each person is different. Without a medical doctor supervision, how is your BP? How is your digestive system? Do you have any preconditions? All of these, and doing a blood profile. All of these are important, because all of these would affect your kidneys and liver, right? If you're going extreme. So this needs to be monitored by somebody who knows very deeply about it. So this is very, very important. That's first disclaimer I would say. But intermittent fasting is quite good, because you're giving 16-8 long gap of not having food and having an eating window. This is great. Again, with your lifestyle, you need to adjust that. Some people have night shifts, some people have morning shifts, so they need to adjust their lives accordingly, their eating windows accordingly. So that's one. I go for prolonged water fastings from 2 days to 5 days to 10 days to 21 days. So this is all possible with the right guidance and with the right supervision. And also, you need to also consult medically. What is your profiling of your blood and all the other organ profile as well? This is very, very crucial. But if you're able to do at least 3 days of fasting by having just water, your body would change into something called, even intermittent fasting could do it to a great extent. Your body would change into a process called autophagy. Autophagy is about the damaged cells will be eaten by your good cells, right? So there's a lot of eating, it's like they go and eat all the cancerous cells, all the damaged cells, and then you will have a renewed body in the process. So that's a process called autophagy. It was a discovery which the doctor who discovered it won a Nobel Prize on. And that is a cellular renewal system. So if anyone wants to have a result, consult with us and see whether you can do it or no. And then you can reboot your immune system, right? You can even do it as in a time frame as less than 7 days to reboot your immune system with the right structure in place.
And fasting for how long a period for a day?
See, there are different modes of fasting, David. There is shorter intermittent fasting. You could eat for 8 hours, and the rest hours you can, fast. And you can eat for 4 hours window, rest window you can fast. And that's like hourly wise in a day. But then you can even go for a 1-day fast in a week, right? 1 day full fast in a week.
Yes.
So that's also possible. There are 5-2, or 2 days, right? 2 days you fast and 5 days you eat. But when you're going for extreme fasting, there is getting into the fasting mode, and then you easing out fasting mode is also there. So the right lifestyle, what you have, the kind of your work mode is also like, if you're like really working too many hours a day, then you need to adapt it to your lifestyle. So you can consult. I mean, I can share with you my details or the contact, and people can reach out to me in terms of how they need to fast, because I would not talk about certain fasting methods in public, because there's also a disclaimer, because it's not good for
Exactly.
everybody.
I understand
Right?
that fully. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're approaching close to about 10 minutes left, and I need to keep that time for the
Sure.
other segment. But before I get into that, I just want you to touch very quickly on self-control and discipline in all of this process, because that's the key bottom line to us making sure that, we have this control of mind, body, and soul. How do you maintain that discipline? Do you have a partner? Do you have a support group? What do you do to do this? Because on your own, to change a habit, it's not easy. And so a lot of people, break the situation of not being able to do it. What do you do for a disciplined approach?
Okay. The first thing, David, for having a discipline, it has to be very important for you.
Yes.
It's like that, life and death for you. If it's
Mm-hmm.
not life and death for you, you would
You won't
not
do
care
it.
enough, right?
Yes.
So when you know that immunity is like survival, and it is like survival, right? It is life or death. In that situation, you will do whatever it takes to put you into the right track.
Yeah.
Everybody agrees with that, right?
Yes.
Now, but some of them, unless they reach there, they would not even realize it, right?
Right.
After long months of governments and the nation telling people wear mask, they have come to realize it now, when in certain countries it's grown to another level altogether, right? Now the second stage is that if you have not even understood that the immunity is key, that your innate immunity, enhancing innate immunity is key, now that's the second step, right? Which people still have not realized.
Yes.
If that's not done now, it's now or never, right? So
Exactly. When?
two key things what people need to look at: is it important for me? If it's important for me, it is the time right now. Reset your lifestyle, reset your body and your mind, and spiritual growth. And now it's all the more great time for everybody, because now here in the UAE, it's a fasting month. It's a time for everyone to connect, spiritually grow, connect, have a discipline. And from now on, if people are able to take on from there, because you already have discipline in place, right?
Yeah.
Take it up from here and run with it, because this is life or death, right? So protocols
So
from
true.
outside, internal protocols, taking care of your external of your house. The temple within is something which you need to take care of, and that's one. And discipline is very, very important. Another thing what I would do is, in my boot camps, what I always have: share. You're doing something, share. You learn something, share with your people, connect with your peer groups. Tell somebody, I'm going to change my life from today on. Make a public declaration that this is what I'm going to do. At least your enemies would mock you if you have some, right? Oh, what did you say? So share, create accountability partners, create buddies to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what I say, like, you have a good community to help you with, motivate you, help you. Okay, we have a buddy system in our, the boot camps, where everyone has to daily share with their buddies, say that, what have I
Yeah.
done? How can I help you? Right? How can I serve you? This is very, very important, right? Someone needs, it's not happening. You need a shoulder to cry on, right? You have somebody with you in your peer group. So it's very, very important. Connectivity is important. Now, we cannot physically meet much of people nowadays, but at least you can connect through,
Yeah.
at least use the facilities of this, the connectivity on your online connectivity, whichever, programs you use, but connect with people, hear them out, whenever I work with people who are going through anxiety and a massive, trauma, someone wouldn't be on a suicide call. The many people in front of my eyes have just shifted their mindset because they had somebody to speak on. I've spoken to many of those people who came out of these tendencies, right? Because they wanted someone to hear them,
Just hear them.
just to hear
That's
them.
right.
That's it. That has shifted them. right? To
So
change the
true.
decision. Yeah. So please, if someone is wanting to reach out to you, hear them out. Do not shut your calls to someone who's saying that I want to talk to you. So that's why I try not to, avoid calls, right? So that you never know, right? When I work with thousands of people like that, working with people with anxiety and trauma, this is what I realized. This is the time when you are needed. Give your ears to them, because that might change someone's life.
It sure will. Smitha, I am sorry to stop you. I know we have eaten into the last segment. I can only afford 5 minutes for you.
Perfect.
So
How to
we
do
need
it?
to
Oh, for the
bring it.
meditation, yes.
Yeah.
So great. So let's get down. In 3 to 5 minutes, we'll just do a simple practice. Okay.
Yes.
I want everyone to sit straight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you an experience where, if people who have not meditated, so most of the people who are watching us, they've meditated with me, but who have not meditated, just take this moment out and see how you feel after you've done this segment. Okay. So let's take a deep breath, sit straight, shoulders open, chest open, spine erect. And take a deep breath. Deep inhale and slow exhale. Taking a deep inhale and slow exhale. Taking a deep inhale. Observe your breath. How does it feel? What is the texture of my breath? Taking a deep breath to the count of 4 and exhale to the count of 4. Thoughts would be there. That's fine. We are not here to stop our thoughts. Just observe your thoughts. Just observe the thoughts as an observer. Observe it and let it move. Let it pass by. Taking a deep breath, and with the exhale, let the worries of the day start to dissolve. Beautiful. All of you doing great. Taking a deep inhale and slow exhale. Now, I want you to just bring your awareness to the right side of your body. Just while you're bringing your awareness to the right side, create an intention. From today on, I am going to take care of my mind, my body, and my spirit. And today is the day when I'm getting started. So now, I want you to slowly start bringing your attention and awareness to the right side of your body. Now bring your awareness to your palms, your wrist, your arms. Just bring your awareness. No need to move. Your shoulders, your right side of your body, your thighs, your lower legs, your feet, and all of your toes together. Slowly bring your awareness to the left side of your body. Bring your awareness to the left palm, your wrist, your arms, your shoulder, side of your body, your thighs, your legs, your ankles, your feet, and all of your toes together. Bring your awareness to the whole front of your body, whole back of your body, your whole body. Now observe the breath going in and out. recollect your intention, what you created today. And I'm going to take care of this beautiful, divine miracle. That's my body, spirit. Slowly coming back to the space, coming back to this moment, rubbing your palms together, taking in a deep breath, and put your palms on your eyes, the warm palms. Slowly open your eyes to the space with a bright smile of the decision what you made today.
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous.
I think, David, this is the shortest meditation as I've ever
I
done in my
know.
entire
I'm so
life.
sorry to do this to you, but we were so enthralled in the discussion that we ate into the meditation time. But I promise you, the next time when I have you, we're going to just drill down each of these subjects. And I want to. There are a lot of other speakers that we do the same thing. We're going to bring them back 2 to 3 months downstream and get them to drill down each aspect of their work and in your work, particularly this area that we just spoke on. Smitha, thank you so much. Truly appreciate it. I know you're a busy lady, keeping in touch, but to come online too and to prepare for this, truly, truly grateful and appreciate your time. You
Thank
take
you
care,
so much.
lady, and I'd love to keep in touch and we will connect again soon.
Thank you so much, David. It was such a pleasure. Such a
Take
pleasure.
care now.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye now. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Thanks.
I have a challenge, and that channel is just not turned it off, but we will continue with this. Let's see, I've just texted. Yes, she's online to do the work. While
Wow.
she's doing that, that's
I'm
okay.
seeing, yeah, I'm seeing all the chats right now. That's
I
amazing.
know, I know. They've come online. I didn't answer them,
Yeah.
but for those that are there, you can send me. As I said at the start, we won't have time for answering the questions,
Yeah.
but please do send me your questions at support@davidnair.net, and I'll pass that on through to Smitha to answer, and we will forward it back to you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Great. I'm seeing a good amount of
Yes.
chats here. And if there's any questions, yeah, they can put it on the chats as well until it's going off.
Yeah, that's good.
And David, if you could share my credentials as well, my email to the people. So
Yes.
in case if they need to reach out for anything,
Yeah.
they can.
They might be having
If there's
some.
any questions, they can ask.
Yeah, they
Sure.
can ask the questions now if
Yes,
there's any
yes, yes,
while
yes.
we wait.
Since the live is on.
It's all greetings so far. I don't see any questions. Very happy to hear from both of you, Dr. Zamir. Good information, very useful. Wow. Great, good interactive session. Good. So I think Sunita is going to turn it off immediately. She's just come True.
Great. So thank you. Thank you,
Thank you
David.
again.
It was always such a pleasure to talk to you. And
Always. I know.
again, we have a new come in, and your energy is always contagious.
Thank you. At 92.
Absolutely. That was the first thing what I noticed about you, and I was telling you, like, this is amazing. You know, the amount of energy what you keep. Munir is asking how many hours we should sleep in a day. Munir, 7 to 8 hours, ideally. But by any chance, if you got only less sleep, at least meditate. You know, there is a very beautiful, powerful meditation practice called Yog Nidra, and that can, 20 minutes of that meditation can give you a rested, rejuvenated sleep, the result of that sleep. In 4 hours of deep sleep rest, you can achieve through this process. So in case by any chance, if you miss, you can do this particular meditation, and we have a masterclass going on that, so you can reach out to me and I can share with you the details. Yeah.
Great.
So
Smitha has just come online, and I'm sorry to cut short.